I mean, I think I'll be here regardless. So, yeah, I'm confident that I'll be here and that they'll do the right things.
I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be solving, but still talking shit like they violent. They say that they honest, how money these niggas gon' say that they got.
What's good? BALLCONTROL. Ball Control fan, what's good with y'all? I'm your host DJ, back with another video, and today we're talking about the Charlotte Hornets and how trash the franchise is, how Kemba Walker needs to leave, how this organization really isn't going anywhere, and I don't see anything really going on between the Charlotte Hornets because it's a lot of things they really need to fix. There's a lot of things they need to address, and we're gonna dive into some of those things in the video. And first, I want to let's start off with the talent, just overall the talent on the Charlotte Hornets. Now, obviously, you have Kemba Walker. You have Nicholas Batum, who is on a terrible contract. You have some young pieces in Miles Bridges. You have Malik Monk, Dwayne Bacon. You have all these talent. You have Frank Kaminsky, Cody Zeller. You have all these players, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And quite frankly, they're not all. Some of those players are role players at best on a championship team, probably G League players in my opinion. But the talent level on this team is pretty bad. Now, if you're Michael Jordan or Mitch Kupchak, who's their general manager, why on God's green earth have you not fixed this issue? Charlotte Hornets has been mediocre for the past, pretty much since their whole existence. Never came out of the East. I'm pretty sure they've never been to an Eastern Conference Championships, even dating back to their Bobcat days. They never seen any success as a franchise. Back in 2011, when they were the Bobcats, they were the worst team in NBA history, not franchise history. Well, actually, yeah, they were the worst in franchise history. But in NBA history, they were considered the worst team at one point in time. And if you're Michael Jordan, you got to realize, like, look, we need to put talent on this team. Now, obviously, we could give them credit on hitting some parts. Mainly their best draft hit really was Kemba Walker. And that's arguably their best player in franchise history. And that's a shame how they never really was able to put talent around Kemba. And that's the reason they always been mediocre. Yeah, they went to the playoffs here and there, but they went home. And most of those playoff series was against Miami. And Miami kept sending them home. So Charlotte, talent level-wise, has never been a success. Now, Miles Bridges, he's a nice young piece, but you can't build around him. And you can't build around Malik Monk. They need somebody that's gonna be young and can take over that franchise. And Kemba Walker, I mean, at this point, he's 28 years old. You should have been moved him before his contract was up. I feel like Michael Jordan had a bit of an ego. He wanted to just keep Kemba around and not, give him some talent. Back in my trade deadline video, winners and losers, I talked about how they were so close to getting Marc Gasol, and they were close. They were talking about finalizing. They could have at least had Marc Gasol and made a playoff push, but that's not the case because, as you can see, they're sitting 10th in the Eastern Conference, and that's not good considering you're in the East. You have Kemba Walker, probably the best point guard in the East, if not the second best point guard in the East. I'm not saying he is either of those. I'm just saying it's arguably. It's arguable. Anybody can argue that. But the fact that you guys are 10th in the Eastern Conference, that tells you a lot about the franchise. That tells you a lot about the talent level on the team. And quite frankly, you should have been moved Kemba to get you some young, solid pieces. Probably you would have got you a first and a young talent for Kemba Walker. Y'all could have started off a rebuild. But instead, they felt like they were playoff contenders, and they really weren't. Charlotte was never a playoff team, to be honest. The only reason why they were in the playoffs because how bad the East was. If you couldn't go last year with Kemba and Dwight Howard, I don't see how you could go with just Kemba. You see, you should have never signed Nicholas Batum to that terrible contract. That messing up your salary. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist still can't shoot. He's still a solid defender, but he hasn't really improved on his game. Frank Kaminsky hasn't lived up to what he was supposed to be, a knockdown, consistent shooter. Yeah, he could shoot here and there, but he's not consistent. Dwayne Bacon, on and off. Malik Monk, inconsistent. A lot of these guys aren't really fit. They they don't fit what Kemba Walker is. And I think it's pretty sad. And to be honest with you, Charlotte needs to tear it down, man. Michael Jordan, swallow your pride and let Kemba leave and start off a rebuild. Because this team isn't going anywhere. In my opinion, they're probably the worst well-run franchise. They're worse than the Magic, in my opinion. Because at least the Magic is an established team. They know what they're trying to do. You know, they have a direction that they're trying to fulfill. Something that the Hornets ain't really providing for Kemba Walker and some of these young talent. Really, the thing with the Charlotte Hornets, they just need to strip it all down, man. Kemba Walker, you need to get out of Charlotte. Team ain't going nowhere. And if you trade Kemba, Miles Bridges, I mean, he has potential, but he's not really somebody. He's not a cornerstone of a franchise. Malik Monk has a lot to work on. Needs to work on consistency. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, we know what he is, just a one-way defender. And honestly, really with the Charlotte Hornets, it's really a matter of what are you going to do for the future, because Kemba's not staying. You're losing all your money, and you're tied to a lot of salary that is hard to move in this league, man. You got to be able to move some of these salaries like Nicholas Batum. You have Cody Zeller. You have all these guys under contract. It's not really, it's not really working right now. And then you turn around and you sign in Tony Parker, where you need to be trying to give actual help to Kemba Walker. You sign Tony Parker, somebody that's on his last legs in the league, who quite frankly should just stay with the Spurs, man, or just retired after he got released by the Spurs. You sign him, and I understand him and Michael Jordan got a good, solid friendship and all that, but come on, MJ, you trying to say you want to build around Kemba and you think he's the future and all that, like you have a strong future with Kemba, you think you can win a title. Kemba's 28 years old, man. His prime is being wasted because management is not building around him. Kemba, if you're watching, you need to leave Charlotte. The franchise is a mess. Michael Jordan is really running that franchise to the ground. Hopefully he can get his head out the ass. Mitch Kupchak, this is his first year as general manager, so he needs to make sure he get things situated this summer. And they should have moved Kemba by the deadline just so they could get something back from him, because Kemba's not coming back. And they should have been traded Kemba Walker like a couple of years ago. You would have got way more than what you have now. You would have way more younger assets and all that, but it is what it is, man. Charlotte Hornets, in my opinion, is the worst franchise in the league. Something that people really ain't going to talk about because Michael Jordan is the owner and Kemba Walker is still there. So, the franchise is a complete mess, And you surround him with Dwight Howard, who's a locker room cancer. You give him Tony Parker. Like, how can Kemba Walker work with that? Kemba never really had an established star next to him. And they are, like I said earlier in the video and in my previous videos, they almost got Marc Gasol, but management just couldn't make it work. And honestly, Michael Jordan, Mitch Kupchak, all these guys need to look themselves in the mirror and say, what are we doing wrong? Because right now, you're wasting this man's prime years. Kemba really don't deserve that. And honestly, they really just need to get this man. If you're going to resign him, you're going to have to get another free agent, but the likelihood of that is not going to happen. No one wants to come to Charlotte. They're not that good of a team, not that good of a franchise. The pieces they have surrounding Kemba is pretty lackluster, in my opinion, like how it's been all year, even in the Bobcat days. Like, Miles Bridges, he's a good young talent. He's not somebody you'll build around. He's a good, role player. Malik Monk is inconsistent. Dwayne Bacon, where has Dwayne Bacon been? Like, come on now. So yeah, that's really it with the Charlotte Hornets. I just wanted to make this video for you guys because, another topic video to talk about, an NBA team that really needs to be talked about out there, that really should be considered the worst franchise in basketball. I don't see how people like to say the Magic and the Kings are the worst franchise. Hell, even the Bulls. Hell, even the Knicks. Like, at least the Knicks have a direction. The Hornets don't have a direction. But it is what it is, man. Y'all make sure y'all comment down below. Ball Control family. Y'all comment down below. Answer the question in the top right corner, the eye icon. I have a poll that you guys can answer. Y'all make sure y'all go show that love. And like, comment, subscribe. Salute to everybody at home. Salute to everybody watching the video. I'm your host, DJ. I'm out. Peace.